And Coach Prime makes his debut. Welcome, everybody, to Buffs Primetime, presented by Aflac. And without further ado, let's bring in the head coach of your Colorado Buffaloes, Coach Prime Sanders. We'll bring him out on the stage and get our conversation underway with the coach. Here he comes. Good to see you, brother. Man, oh man. It's like introducing Elvis, for goodness sakes. I mean, there you go. We got that. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little exhausted. This is our work day. So
right.
This is, it's like a lot of decisions being made today on special teams and who's going to dress out and a lot of infinite details. And Fort Misery wasn't miserable to me. That was your own testimony. I had a great. My hometown was wonderful. But first of all, thank you for your support, your love, and everything you bring to the table, because you guys showed up and showed out there in Fort Worth last week. Give yourself a round of applause.
Yeah, without questioning, the Buff turnout there was fun. Hey, before we get going, I just want to make sure, is everybody in the room believing right now? All right, we can get that. So I don't want Coach to get riled up here today. Yeah,
that's history. It was some history to that. It was deeper than that moment.
No, I understand.
It was much deeper than that moment.
I understand. Awful fun game last week. Coach, for those of us who cover the team, you're watching and you think you're seeing what you think. And then when we saw your finished product out there last week and the explosiveness on the field, I think for a lot of people, kind of put us back on our heels. Like this thing is, right now it's as explosive as any offense in the country.
Well,
you expected that.
We expected that. We practiced like that.
Yeah.
It's nothing that we saw out there that we hadn't seen. It's nothing that we saw out there that we didn't expect. It's nothing that we saw out there that we said, wow, I didn't know that was going to happen. No, we really was upset that we felt like, that's not my phone, is it? That's Jimmy. That's the interview with Jimmy. You heard that I was listening to. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I am so unprofessional.
No worries. Hey, it's your show.
Sam, where you at? Where's Sam? Throw this back there. There
you
Thank
go.
you.
All right.
We expect all of that. We left meat on the bone, as they say in the inner city. We felt like we left probably 17 to 20 points out there that we should have garnished, and as well as given up. We should have probably only given up by 10 points.
I think when you've been covering or watching Colorado football for a while, things have not been good. You well know that.
Right.
And when the TCU comes down and takes the lead late, historically what we've seen here the last few years is like, oh, man, here we go again.
Yeah,
Take us to your sideline and talk about what it's like, what the conversations are like, how you guys are handling that adversity.
That's not adversity to us.
No?
They just had their turn.
Okay.
We're going to get our turn. It's
right.
just like ping pong. But, those of you my age, we was on a seesaw. I'm down now, but I'm about to go up. Okay. I'm about to go up, because I know my son. Mm-hmm. We don't lose like that. Like, I know if he had the ball last, we're going to score. So that's without a shadow of a doubt. I know what he's capable of. I know this offense. I know they believe in him. And I know he's going to get us down the field. So we didn't flinch whatsoever. We were just preaching on the sideline. We just need to stop. Come on, guys. We need to stop. Somebody make a darn play. Yeah. That's what we were preaching. And I felt so bad for Coach Kelly because, I'm talking and I could hear the calls coming in, and he was calling a great game. The young men just weren't executing the calls. It would be a guy missed the whole darn hole, and you run into the back of the darn tackle, and you don't hit your gap. Like, that wasn't his fault. That's not coaching. That's players. Yeah. And he called a great game. Unfortunately, we surrendered a tremendous amount of points, but that wasn't on him. Yeah. And we're going to make those adjustments this week.
The fourth down tackle by Miles Slusher was a phenomenal, great individual play, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. It was great, but we had three guys coming.
Okay.
Like, our thing is to get to the ball. So had he missed that, we were coming. Yeah. Like, we were coming. There was three guys there to make it up, and that's what we practiced, getting to the ball. Let's go full speed, tempo, all game long. And one thing that I'm truly proud of is that we didn't tire. They kept talking about the heat, and we didn't tire. And we were ready. We were ready to go. We were on water and Gatorade for the last couple weeks. We wasn't putting anything volatile in our bodies. Like, we were adamant. We got down there a day early. We got acclimated to the heat. We practiced at 11 a.m. the day prior to so we could feel it. and we had a great practice, so we were ready for it.
You know, the thing that, and not seeing him, the thing I learned about your son, Shador, at quarterback, we see him in practice. He's got a great arm. He throws accurate balls, and all that kind of stuff. The way he moves in a pocket, Prime, and kind of slides and buys himself more time, and the fact his eyes are downfield, that's impressive stuff for a young quarterback.
Well, Shador's been doing this for a long time. I mean, you guys just hadn't seen it because he was at HBCU, and HBCUs don't get the credit that they deserve. So Shador, he doesn't flinch. He knows the game. Even when he surrenders a sack, I know him like a book. So when he comes to the sideline, the first thing I say is, "What did you see?" He say, "I didn't like the call." That's nothing against Sean Lewis, but he didn't like the call because they gave, or he didn't like the person. We may have had the right call, but the person that the ball was targeted to go through, he didn't trust him in that situation.
Right.
So he'd rather eat it and let's punt, let's get off the field than make a mistake. So he thinks about all that. He's never caught not knowing where to go with the ball. He already knows where he's going from a pre-snap read. He's a very intelligent young man, and we have some receivers that are on his level intellectually. They're smart receivers. They're not just running chaotically down the field. They know what they're doing.
I saw something with Shador yesterday. He and I did a little pregame interview. He was on Saturday, and he was talking with one of the coaches, and I waited until he was done with his conversation. And I listened to him, and keep in mind, this is happening on Tuesday morning, right? So it's still early in the week. I listened to him dissect the Nebraska defense in terms of what they offer, what their coverages are, where the holes are, what I can do, and it was astounding to me just listening because it was a high-level, high football conversation.
Yeah.
When did you realize that he kind of had that mind about him?
7 years old. His nickname is Grown. Like, he's in my phone up under Grown.
Yeah.
Like, he's always been very mature, a very grown man, a very intelligent young man. He's always been that way. He's only played quarterback. He and Shiloh played quarterback their whole life. Then it got to a point, I think Shiloh's sophomore year, where I looked at him, I said, "Look, buddy, it's over. It's your brother now." And Dad, you always favoring him. You always giving him. I said, "Son, I'm just telling you, it's over. I could teach you how to play defensive back. You're going to get about 20 offers, and you're going to be good. But it's over at the quarterback position."
Coach, how far apart are they in age?
2 years.
2 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been amazed. And when the thing that impresses you when you watch kind of show, and Shiloh for that matter, and by the way, Shiloh is going to be on the show today.
Yeah.
He's coming up as our player.
Oh, my God.
So you better speak lonely about him.
Shiloh's I don't know how you could raise two kids in the same house and they're totally different. They ate the same stuff, they played with the same stuff, they played on the same teams, and they're totally opposite.
Is that right?
Polar opposites, but it's a good thing, but they're very, very competitive.
I was going to say, have they always been battling?
Oh, always. Yeah. Even when it comes to gifts. I mean, Christmas gifts. You got him that, you didn't get him that. I mean, it's always, they always go at it.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to say it was a coming out party. We knew what Travis Hunter was. I mean, he was the number one.
No, everybody didn't know.
Okay.
They thought they knew.
Okay.
And, because a lot of people, he did that just because he was at HBCU. And
sure.
No, Travis is Travis.
I mean, he is something special. And I've told the story many times. When I asked you one day, I said, "How does he compare to you at that age?" And you said, "He's better than I was."
Yeah, he's much better.
Now you correct me if you think this is wrong, because the interception was spectacular.
Yeah.
That wasn't his best play of the game. And here's why what I thought was, TCU hands the ball off to Amari Bailey, and he breaks it off the right-hand side. And it looks like he might be going for a touchdown. So here's a superstar player that's going to be a first-round NFL draft pick and doesn't have to, but from the opposite side of the field, Prime chases him down. And that says something about what's going on in the chest of that young man, doesn't it?
Yeah, not only that, it says something about what we teach.
Sure.
Everybody got to get to the ball, and especially that backside guy, because you never know. Because all we need to do is to give the defense another opportunity, and you never know what might happen on that series.
Yeah.
So we want to get to the ball as expeditiously as possible. But Travis Hunter is a big play waiting to happen. Like I told the team this morning, is that it's no surprise that the guys that made plays because that's how they practice. So if you want to make plays in the game in front of everyone, practice like that in front of no one.
Sure.
So those guys that are making plays, we expected that because we saw that in practice. The guys that didn't, we didn't expect it because that's who you are in practice.
That's coming from a guy who was a playmaker. Can you teach somebody to be a playmaker, or does it have to be?
You can't teach somebody how to work. They got to want that.
Is that right?
And that's on us. Like if we don't have a plethora of guys that's not working, that's on the scouting department and that's on me. They should not be in the locker room. And I promise you we're going to get them out.
Yeah.
So we did make some mistakes. We didn't have everybody that we brought into the locker room. They're not great. Yeah. I mean, they have talent, but we want kids that love the game of football.
Is that the hardest thing? Because we've all seen plenty of guys who were talented that never evolved and developed into a player. Is that the hardest thing to evaluate?
Well, you can't measure the heart.
Yeah.
I can't measure your heart. I can't. Do you love him? I can't measure that. You know, you got that goes by what you show your actions.
Well, don't start in trouble here with that couple now.
your actions and all that shows that, but we cannot measure the heart. And that's something that everyone is trying to detect, and you can't do that. But we can ask you a series of questions that's going to give me your location of where you are mentally, psychologically, physically, as well as spiritually.
Yeah. It's Buffs Primetime. We're here at the Post Chicken and Beer downtown Boulder, brought to us by our good friends at Aflac. Get help with expensive health insurance costs that are not covered. Visit Aflac.com to learn more. We got Charles Kelly coming up, our defensive coordinator. We got Shiloh Sanders coming up, as I mentioned, our safety for the Buffaloes. One more segment with Coach Prime after this. This is Colorado football from Learfield. University of Colorado football is brought to us by the Hiltons on Canyon. Coming to Boulder for the game, we'll stay at the Hiltons on Canyon, proud partner of the Buffaloes. It's Buffs Prime Time here at the Post Chicken and Beer in downtown Boulder, presented by Aflac. Another segment with Coach Prime here. We took some great questions during the commercial break from some of the folks in attendance here. I got to ask you one that for the folks listening over the network. The whole concept of getting drunk on your own wine, right? Right now, it's. Do you feel bad that every broadcast you turn on right now, all they're talking about is Colorado football?
No.
I mean, holy cow.
No, we don't feel bad. We want them to.
Prime, it's everywhere.
I mean, that's what our young men, that's why they signed up. That's why they came.
So all that attention out there, how do the guys maintain that and handle that?
They want that. That's why they came. You know, young kids and women want attention. They want focus. They want love. They want appreciation. They want respect. That's what they want. But if you want that continuously, you got to do something to provoke that. Yeah. So our message is, what are you doing to provoke that? Okay? If you want it, let's work our butt off so it'll stay here. Because teams that win usually have the most players that go into the NFL. Teams that lose don't. So our message, we flip it on them. We just got to win. Once we win, more people get exposure. Not only kids, the coaches. I want these coaches that have that dream of being a head coach, I want them to fulfill that dream, and I'm going to help them fulfill that dream. So we just got to win and continuously keep the main thing the main thing.
When you come back from a ball game, then you get your correction period. What's that like with you and this team? How does that work?
My correction period is probably in the locker room after the game. I'm already replaying it in my head. Like I'm never satisfied. Like I want to be dominant. So when I'm walking off that field or jogging off that field, I'm thinking, God, we left some points out there. God, we gave up too many points. God, how could they block that kick? God, why we would let that kickoff run all the way down there? God, we had 3 darn penalties on one drive. We only had 6 for the whole game, but we eliminate that. Now we only have 3. Like I'm going through all these things in my head, and what can we do better personnel-wise? Like linebackers got to step up. What fire do I need to set up under them so they can step up and hit the darn right gap and make the tackle that they need to make? So I'm assessing everything, including the coaching. And the conversations that went on the headsets between me and offense coordinator, defense coordinator, and whatever, special teams, you're assessing all that, and you're just trying to go to the next level. Now, on Sundays, what we do on Sundays is we come in and we watch film, give them the message about what we need to do. We watch the film, we correct it, we go on the field, we have a walkthrough, we correct it. Now 60%. If you play 60% of the snaps on Saturday, now you're done with that practice. But if you didn't, you have a full practice, individuals, 7-on-7, then team. So we get work on Sundays because now if I sustain injuries, I got to get that next guy ready. Not Tuesday, but I got to get him thinking, you got to play. Let's get your mind focused on Sunday because you really didn't play. So you should be fresh, and mentally I got to get you going that you're going to have to be a valuable asset this particular Saturday. So the whole preparation of the new week starts on Sunday. Yeah,
this is a 7-day-a-week thing with you, isn't it? I mean, it has to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Yeah. They get Monday off, but our young men are so adamant about being dominant and being who they are. More than half the team is there watching film on Monday. preparing for the next team, not the film that we just played. They already put that to bed on Sunday. So Monday, they're preparing for the next team.
You always, in all your successes in life, you get congratulatory texts or phone calls. But after this was your first win here, what was the coolest one you got that really meant something to you?
All of them mean something to me. Yeah, it wasn't one that just stood out because it was a tremendous. I haven't even gotten back to all of them, but it was a lot of them that it probably my mama.
I'd imagine
like,
so.
Like, and my mama lives with me here, and she's like, "Baby, you did that. Y'all did that." I mean, that's how my mama talks. And she's like, and then she'll start assessing. Shador did this, and tell Shiloh if he miss another tackle, he better not come back on. I mean, it's just so my mama keeps it 100, but she was happy and elated with how we did. And my sister ran on the field and gave me a big hug. We had a lot of family members there, somewhat. But it was a wonderful moment, not just for us, for you all as well. You deserve it. I truly believe you deserve it.
Without question. Yep. And by the way, your guy Rick George came out there. He was bawling like a baby out there,
Excuse
man.
me?
I said your guy Rick George.
He should have been. No, Rick, man, I'm so proud of Rick, man, because I mention him every opportunity I get because he gave me the opportunity. If it weren't for Rick, I would have this tremendous opportunity. But I mean, we told him before, Rick, we're gonna win this game. We're not joking. We're gonna win this game.
So a lot of times you'll see the C on a jersey. You got to tell us about the D's and the L's and how you differentiate that. Yeah.
I'm so considerate of military, and I'm so because my uncle was a sergeant in the Army, and I'm so considerate about policemen.
Yeah.
So when we talk about captain, I think that should be reserved. I don't think a normal man, just because he plays sports or woman, is a captain. Captain of what? I believe in leaders and dogs. That's what we want on our team. We want leaders and we want dogs. And every dog ain't a leader and every leader ain't a dog. I don't expect the leader to be the dog and I don't expect the dog to be a leader. Now, if we get one that's both, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
But we had a couple guys that we chose. I think Shador and Shane Coates is tremendous leaders. Tremendous leaders. Now, when it comes to dogs, Travis is a bona fide dog.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
And kicker.
Oh, Feely.
Yeah. Jace Feely.
Can a kicker be a dog?
Jace wants to go down there and make the tackle. I'm like, man, just kick the ball out the darn end zone. Please do that. Do that. Because they kicker, I don't know what he was on.
Right.
He was putting the darn ball in the darn down to 85 South.
Yes, he was.
Shoot. I tried to talk to him after the game. Like, hey, call me. I saw that, and the reason I'm saying that because I saw a picture of me talking to the cornerback.
Yes, yeah.
And they said that's the wrong guy.
That's the last guy you want talking to players.
Yeah. And it's so funny. Let me tell you a conversation that's hilarious.
All right.
Now this kid, I respect this kid because he's a cornerback and he's pretty good. He's
Josh
touted,
Newton. Yeah.
He's touted to go in first round. So during a timeout, he said, "Coach, I wear number 2 because of you." I say, "Man, I'm proud of you, son.
Nice.
That means a lot to me." I say, "Man, I want you to kick butt. And I want you to go in the first round." He said, "Yeah, Coach, I'm going to DM you, man, because I want some of them shoes." I say, "Son, what size are you?" He said 10 and a half. I said, "I got you." So after the game, he ran over to me. He said, "Coach, don't forget now."
Yeah.
But I'm serious. Those are some of the conversations that goes on. And the other guy, his last name is Sanders. He played for Alabama, the running back.
That's right.
He got hurt. I don't know if you remember that. And I walked over to him because he was a kid that wanted to come here. And the reason I didn't take him because he sustained some significant injuries.
Okay.
And Coach Kelly knew about those injuries and Coach Sal, so we didn't take him. But I still had love for the kids because he wanted to play for us. So I went out there and I said, "Son, now if you don't get up, they ain't got a chance. So I want you to get your butt up and get back in this game and be dominant like you've been." I mean, that's what I
So
told
you were coaching the other team's player.
I want the kid to be dominant because his last name's Sanders, first of all.
Well, okay, yeah.
And he was the number 2 on offense. So and that's what the conversation was. And he got up. Then the opposing coach came over, and that's when I gave him love because I really respect the heck out of him.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So those are some of the conversations that take place on the field that you have no idea about.
See, that's the kind of stuff right here on Coach's show you're going to get each and every week. Awesome. Hey, we got to let you go, and we're going to get to Charles Kelly. Just give us a quick comment about, I mean, first off, we saw you run out to this last week.
Yeah.
So now you're going to run out ahead of behind Ralphie. Yeah.
I had some help.
Yeah, that's all right.
I had some help running out. Some tremendous help. Thank you to the medical team.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And big game rivalry. Give us a quick thought about Nebraska.
Shiloh. Yeah, Lord Jesus. You want me to give you the version that I say, or the version that I really mean?
Well, how about the one you really mean? How about that?
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to give you the one that I say.
Okay.
Okay. They're well coached. It's a tremendous rivalry. Some of these kids don't know the extent of this rivalry. They have a bunch of new kids that they're not admitting. It's like we have a bunch of new kids, and we got to integrate them and have them to understand the level of the rivalry. That's why the whole message this week was it's personal. And so we got videos from Snoop Dogg. We got videos from Lil Wayne. And I told him to give me something that meant something that was personal to you. So in the morning, the kids, we hit play and the kids hear a video from these icons about something that was personal or why it meant so much to them. And this team, this is a personal game. And it not only does it mean a lot to you, but it means a lot to us. And we want to represent our home. And we talked about something about home. It's nobody's going to come in my home, my natural home, and whoop me. It's nobody going to grab me out of my car and whoop me. It's nobody's going to come anywhere that I call mine and whoop me. And we got to have that same passion and that same energy when it comes to this game. We're not going to let nobody come to our house and whoop us. It's no way, but now, because it's personal.
Love it.
Yeah, it's personal.
Love it. Isn't that awesome? And by the way, I'm sure you saw it. That Snoop commentary video he did during the broadcast. Did you?
God, you have no idea.
I would love to invite him on the air. I think the FCC would take our title away if we had him on the air with us.
No, I think everything is legal here. I've heard. Trust me. I've heard.
Coach Prime, best of luck this weekend. Let's get the Huskers.
I might listen to Shiloh.
You'll have to. Let's hear for Coach Prime. He and the Buffs have got Nebraska on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. at Folsom Field. We'll hit the air at 8 a.m. on the Buffs Colorado Football Network. And by the way, we're going to be out at Dwayne Field for the first hour of our pregame on Saturday morning. Let's go and take a timeout. Shiloh is coming up. First, we're going to have the defensive coordinator, Charles Kelly. He'll join us next. We're here at the Post Chicken and Beer, downtown Boulder's Buffs Primetime, presented by Aflac. Back in a moment. This is Colorado Football from Learfield. By the Post Chicken and Beer with 7 Colorado Front Range locations. The Post delivers delicious award-winning beer and fries up the juiciest, crispiest, hot fried chicken around. Fried chicken and beer go together like black and gold football. Stop by the Post for all your game time provisions. And for the next show, we're going to flip it real quick here. Instead of doing the assistant, we're going to do the player segment. Let's welcome in Shiloh Sanders, safety for your Colorado Buffaloes. Yeah, go ahead and put those on right there. Yeah. Charlotte, this is your volume right there in case you want to adjust that. How are you?
Your voice is really warm in these headphones.
Like a big hug, isn't it? Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
It's going to be kind of a fun week, isn't it?
Man, this whole season, we got a lot of fun ahead of us, for sure.
I would think we were talking with your dad and head coach about, kind of getting drunk in your own wine and the attention and the hype and all that. You've grown up around this, though, so it probably doesn't affect you or all that much, does it?
We've been winning for so long.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, can I do it without the headphones?
You sure can. Can we grab the microphone over there, Shane? Well, I'll hand you the stick microphone back over here that Coach Prime was using, and we'll work that out. Can you go ahead and grab that and we'll bring it over to Shiloh? I know it's kind of odd, those headphones sometimes, if you're not used to them.
It's like I'm recording a song.
Yeah.
But, we've been winning for such a long time. It just feels like what we've been doing our whole lives.
Sure.
Like going from when I was 6 years old, Shador was 4, just playing football. My dad coaching. At first, he wasn't coaching.
Okay.
He used to just be a regular parent.
Right.
And
he told us that I still can't see Prime sitting over there with a lawn chair and a cooler.
that was him.
Serious?
He actually used to be in the stands. But he would get so outraged at the coaching. He would just be coaching from the stands. Like, he would give me calls.
Yeah.
Because I used to play safety back then too.
Yeah.
He used to give me calls. He'd be like, he's going right. From all the way from the stands. So then he evolved to just become a youth coach.
Okay.
And then there was a part of Dallas, like he always knew where to get players from. You know what I'm saying? He always knew the type of team he wanted to build, even from when we was younger. And we used to just play in the areas of like with guys that he would want on the team. You know what I'm saying? He would just assemble a superhero team.
Yeah.
And that's basically what he did here, you know.
Yes, he has. No doubt about that.
We've been doing this for a while.
Hey, I wonder, you know, I asked him about you and Shedeur. So you're 2 years older.
Yeah.
Has it always just been nonstop competition between you two?
Always, especially now that he's the quarterback and I'm the safety.
Sure.
So, especially in practice. So.
You know his tendencies, though, I would think, right?
Yeah, I know him. You know, I'm his kryptonite when we out there with him. But seeing him last weekend just tear them boys up like that was great. You know, I'm a proud brother.
All right, you should be. 510 yards, 9 CU records for a quarterback last week that Shedeur said. All right, if I took a basketball right now, we walked into the event center, and I took a basketball and just dropped on the court between you two.
Basketball?
Yeah.
I'm more physical. So
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm going to just drive in every time. Now, my little sister plays basketball.
Yes,
She's
she
on
does.
the basketball
On the women's
team
team,
here.
yeah.
So that's more competition than that.
Okay.
But still, you know, me and Shedeur, I'm more physical. They used to actually double up against me, so.
Okay.
So that's how you make it fair. So that's the only way they would be able to compete, really.
So what was your assessment defensively for the Buffaloes coming out of that ball game?
Defensively, I don't think, like, as a secondary, we gave up a lot of, like, passes and stuff. But, I mean, as y'all seen, we got to work on the run, and that's what we did this whole weekend. It's just minor adjustments, you know, and I'm going to this quarterback runs a lot.
Yeah.
So we're going to make sure we got him contained first because I'm thinking that they're running before they're throwing this week.
Sure.
So we got all that handled.
Does the idea of Nebraska-Colorado rivalry, I mean, you're new to this. You come walking in from the outside of this. Has it hit you? Coach has been talking about this is personal this week. Is it resonating with you guys?
Yeah, you know, just like I just moved here and everyone's like, all right, these are the people to hate. All right. so I'm just going along with it right now. But you know, we want to win. So.
And you're not wearing red this week, right? Nobody's allowed to wear red.
I got some of the diamond turf cleats that are white and red.
Okay.
Those are my practice cleats.
All right.
But when someone asks me, why are you wearing red? We practice stepping on their heads this week. So that's the only exception to wearing red if it's on your shoes.
Right.
But no, we're not liking red this week for sure.
So after a game like Saturday's, you're down in Fort Worth, game comes to an end. When you come up and see your father afterwards, is the first interaction son and father, or is it player and coach?
It's always really son and father.
Yeah.
But the father is coach all the time.
Okay.
So even at home, like, it's always football. So, because that's like what we're focused on. That's the priority right now, and he wants us to succeed when it comes to that because it's like a job for us, you know.
So you're a football player. Well, what else did you play coming up? Basketball.
We played
baseball.
everything.
Did you?
We just play seasonal sports like football during football season, basketball, baseball.
Did you ever think about doing something at this level besides football?
Baseball for sure.
Really?
I was gonna play at Jackson State this season, but when my dad got the job, we all moved up here.
Okay. All right.
And you know they don't got a baseball team up here. So
That's right. Well,
I had to let it go.
Hey, Coach Prime said last week we're working on that. I don't know. He said it last week.
If we actually have a team, I'll be on it for sure.
I love it.
I'm a center fielder.
Now you had played at South Carolina. Yeah. So you had played at FBS level, Power 5 level. You know what that was all about. Did you have any question about some of the guys that hadn't played this level going into that ball game last week?
Nah, you know, even before the game, I was just talking to Shedeur. I was like, hey, man, it's not a difference. The only difference is the O-line and D-line. But, I mean, you got big guys up there, too, that can help you with them.
Right.
But just play how you play. There's not really a difference. The same guys he was tearing up in FCS, it's the same thing.
Without question.
There's guys that we play against that wouldn't start on our team. So if he goes against us every day, you know, and I think he was real comfortable out there when he actually got on the field and seen that there's not really much of a difference between those levels other than the O-line and D-line.
What's your relationship like with Trevor Woods? I mean, you guys are the two quarterbacks on the back end of that defense. What's your relationship with him?
Man, Trevor's my guy for sure. You know, just all the DBs, we have a great relationship because we spend a lot of time with each other. This off season, in the summer, in fall camp, we used to meet every single day after camp just so we could get on the same page because Coach Kelly has us running a pro-style defense, and that requires a lot of attention to detail. So me and Trevor and Rod, Cam, everyone, all the DBs, we always together, all the safeties, getting on the right page so we can eliminate, like, busted coverages.
It was great to open up on the road, but now you get to play at home, right? You're at Folsom, right? That's spectacular. We're opening up the 100th year of Folsom Field. That first time you run behind Ralphie, that's going to be kind of cool, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. They used to – I was looking forward to they put the South Park guy on there.
Yes,
I was looking,
yes.
but I don't think they do that anymore. Do they do it still?
Well, they did last year. Obviously it's our first game, so would you like them to?
Yeah.
We can make some phone calls.
That's one of my favorite shows.
All right,
I want them to put Coach Prime in that show. It'll be funny. I'll do the voiceover for it.
Well, because you know the guys that created that are RCU alums.
For real?
They're Buffs, yeah. We could probably get that. You do
I'll
your dad's voice?
I'll do the Coach Prime voice, dog. You know, I'm gonna get that taken care of, dog. I'm gonna get that all taken care of, dog.
That is outstanding. Yeah.
Someone has to do your voice, though.
Well, good luck, yeah. All right, well, great, man. I can't wait to see you guys out there on Saturday. We're gonna have some fun, aren't we?
Appreciate it, man. We can't wait to actually be out there in front of, our home city. Just balling in front of you guys. We feeding off of the energy we getting in the stadium, and I know we're making a lot of people proud right now, and we're gonna continue to do that.
All right.
We here. No more we coming. We here now. So.
We are going to have, anytime we need Coach Prime to say something, we're calling you, though.
Any voiceover
or
any commercial, let me know.
No. There's money to be made here, I think. Hey, good luck this weekend. Thanks for being here.
Appreciate it, man.
Let's hear for Shiloh Sanders. Here the Buffs have got Nebraska on Saturday at 10 a.m. at Folsom Field. We'll take a timeout. Charles Kelly, defensive coordinator, coming up next. This is Colorado Football from Learfield. Back one final time on Buffs Primetime, presented by Aflac. Get help with expenses that health insurance does not cover. Visit aflac.com to learn more. We're back here at the Post Chicken and Beer, out here every Thursday from noon until 1. And we go live to tape. It does air on social media on both the Buffs Facebook and Twitter accounts, and so they're streaming right now, in fact. So you can catch it there, but then it airs later on the Colorado Football Network. On the affiliates around the state of Colorado at 7 o'clock. On our flagship, KOA Colorado 850 AM and 94.1 FM at 8 o'clock. They push it back 1 hour, so you can listen again tonight. We're supposed to have defensive coordinator Charles Kelly with us here right now. And we were told about 5 minutes ago that he had left the Champion Center and making the 5-minute trip over here. So we found out it's more than 5 minutes to get here to the Post Chicken and Beer. But Buffs are getting ready for the Nebraska Cornhuskers this weekend. Who here was at the game in 2001? 62-36. Any questions? You guys are all here. Okay. Who was here? And was it 07 or 08 when we won 65-51? You guys remember that one? That was a beat down that day as well. The Huskers are coming off a loss. I know that breaks your heart. On Thursday night, they lost to Minnesota in rather common fashion for what we've seen from them as of late. They've got some offensive struggles they've been dealing with, but we'll get a look at the Huskers. And by the way, Charles here, and he is coming in. We'll have him for a few minutes anyway. You can come out by and see us. I know there's going to be a lot going on around campus this weekend, obviously, with the big noon kickoff and their pregame show out here. We'll be out on Duane Field, just by the Duane Physics Building. Come on out and see us. They've got us a brand new set. Coach will be on out there. We'll have some guests and do our first hour out there beginning at 8 o'clock. What time are you guys getting here on Saturday for the game? Huh? Thursday night, you're saying? Did you say what somebody said? Hey, Charles, come on out. Here comes Charles Kelly, defensive coordinator for the Buffaloes. We'll just go ahead and head you out there, Charles. You can go ahead and use that microphone. How are you? Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's
good to be here.
Good to have you here. These coaches are always working down the last second on the defensive game plans. 45-42, TCU last week.
Right.
Give us your as you unpack that game defensively. Give us your thoughts on it.
I felt like we got off to a good start. One of the things that we talked about, what it takes to win a game. Yeah. And one of the statistics that we look at a lot, you got to win the first 2 minutes of the half, the last 2 minutes of each half. And if you do those things and you play consistent, it gives yourself a chance to win. So I thought one thing that I thought we did really well was to go out there, we deferred, we got a 3-and-out right then and got our offense the ball.
Huge.
So
huge,
that was a huge, to create momentum, to create a little bit of confidence. And I felt like throughout the first half, we played pretty consistent. But where I didn't feel like we did a good job of, and we had sudden changes in the game, where something happens and now you got to go back on the field. You got to dig deeper. You got to make a play. And we didn't do that, and that resulted in the touchdowns.
Right.
Now, those touchdowns were, whether it was missed tackles, things like that. Those are things that we can fix. But, we've got to get better in those situations. But I was very proud of our guys. 2 things we asked them to do. We played those 2-minute situations good, and we asked them to play fast and run to the ball.
Yeah.
Even though we made a lot of mistakes, I felt like our guys hustled, and not one time in the game over on the sideline making adjustments did we ever lose our poise. There was never any doubt in our mind that we were going to win the football game.
Give us a little bit of a scouting report on what we're going to see on Saturday, Nebraska's offense. Tell us about it.
Totally opposite of what we've been seeing, what we practice against. They run a lot of different offensive personnel sets. They'll have 3 tight ends in the game, 2 tight ends in the game. Then they'll go 3 wide receivers with 1 tight end. Their quarterback is a big athletic guy.
Real athletic, yeah.
He's very athletic. He ran the ball 19 times, against Minnesota. And listen, the score is really deceiving to what the game was. Just to talk about 2 minutes at the end of the half, they've got the ball on the 1-yard line. They run a zone read. They've got it at the 1. They get a illegal motion, tackle moves, backs them up to the 5-yard line. Then they throw an interception in the end zone. So if they score right there, it's a totally different game.
Yep.
So they're big up front. They've got some guys on the perimeter that can make some plays, but we've got to be able to stop their running back and their quarterback.
Yeah, well, the Buffaloes have got a great opportunity coming up in the last 30 seconds or so here. With Jeff Sims, as big and athletic as he is, the way he runs the ball, how do you kind of contain a guy like that?
You've got to have good edges on the defense. You can't let him break contain. But when you tackle, you got to be able to tackle this guy up high. You got to wrap, and you got to get him down because these big quarterbacks that can run now, you fall off of them, and it extends the play.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a linebacker. I mean, he's a big, broad guy. Hey, good luck this weekend against Nebraska, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, defensive player Charles Kelly. Don't forget, 8 a.m. Saturday morning, Colorado Football Network, 10 a.m. kickoff. We'll have it. Thanks for joining us out here at the Post Chicken and Beer in downtown Boulder. It's Buffs Primetime, and this is Colorado Football from Learfield.